brick and mortar location onto your phone lines or onto your website so that they can spend money buying the products or services that you offer. So I want to provide a resource you can take notes and actually implement the steps that we're going to discuss in today's webinar. So you should see a link to the action guide. It'll just say download action guide. You'll either see it right below the video where you can see my screen or out to the right side of where you can see my screen. So also, I love interaction throughout my webinars. So you should see a box. Again, it'll either be, depending on your device, depending on your browser, it'll either be below where you can see my screen or out to the right side. And you'll see a box that says type your message below, and then you'll see a blue submit button. So if you have questions, or if I say something that just doesn't make sense to you and you need me to clarify, please use that question box. Please use that message box to send questions over to me. So before we dive in, and as everyone's kind of getting logged in and situated and downloading that action guide, let's go ahead and get that message box fired up. So if you don't mind, type in the message box your name and what type of business you operate. And that will just allow me not only to get to know you a little bit better, but to provide some more specific examples as we go through today's content. So let's go ahead and get that message box fired up if you don't mind. And I am going to refresh my dashboard real quick and see if anyone's had a chance to type in yet. Let's see. All right, we've got Lauren joining us. Welcome, Lauren. We've got Brad joining us. Brad's a graphic designer. We've got Kristen joining us. She's a virtual assistant, so welcome, Kristen. We've got Julie joining us. She owns an online children's clothing boutique, so welcome, Julie. We have got Scott joining us, and he owns a pest control company, so welcome. We've got Mackenzie joining us, and she owns a local cleaning service, so welcome, Mackenzie. We've got Bethany joining us, and she is with a long-term care facility. We've got Kate joining us, and she sells handmade jewelry on Etsy. So welcome, Kate. Super excited to have you joining us. I know, like I said, as a small business owner, you're really busy. You wear a lot of hats. And so today we're going to be talking about the major changes that Facebook announced throughout the month of April. But most importantly, Facebook made a really key announcement on April 30th about what Mark Zuckerberg termed as the most massive changes we've seen to Facebook in the last 5 years. So it's great that you're here because these updates are going to be going into effect now and throughout the summer months. And Facebook is testing a complete overhaul of the newsfeed, and it's also testing some changes on Instagram. So you're going to see those coming in and being tested over the coming weeks. And so I just want you to be aware of them so you don't log in one day and think, oh my goodness, what's going on? What's going on with Facebook? Everything looks different. Or what's going on with Instagram? Things that I used to be able to see, I can't see anymore. So we're going to talk about those changes. And you probably noticed if you logged into your mobile app on April the 30th, Facebook changed the look. So there's no more blue Facebook bar across the top of the mobile app. It's all white now. So that, aesthetic change was just one part of the overhaul that Facebook is rolling out to both the Facebook and Instagram platforms over the coming weeks. So really important that you're here so that you can be prepared, because Facebook and Instagram are going to continue to be a critical part of your marketing strategy, even in spite of the changes that are coming over the coming weeks and throughout the summer. So as you probably know, Facebook has 2.27 billion active users, and 75% of them are logging into the platform each and every day. So Facebook and Instagram are great because that means we have one platform we can go to attract potential customers to our small businesses and engage our existing customers. So both platforms are going to continue to be important in 2019 and beyond, but there are some changes coming, and I want you to be aware of them, because not only do you need to change some things with your social media marketing strategy for both Facebook and Instagram, but because you're going to be aware of these changes, you have the opportunity to edge above your competitors. So now's really the time to capitalize on these changes, make some strategic moves with your Facebook and Instagram strategies so that you can continue to attract more and more new customers to your business. So like I said, in April, Facebook announced a new initiative and said that in 2019, the remainder of 2019, it's going to be focused on remove, reduce, and inform, which is just to protect users, remove content that does not comply with its community standards and guidelines, and reduce misinformation and inform users about the businesses, the pages, and the groups that they are interacting with. On April 30th, when Facebook rolled out the new look of the Facebook mobile app, that same day, Mark Zuckerberg said, we're going to be rolling out some changes to the Facebook mobile app and desktop app, and these are the biggest changes we've seen in the last 5 years. So it's a really exciting time for us as small business owners because you're becoming informed about these changes early on. So again, you can make some changes that are going to be really important to safeguarding your reach and ensuring that you're able to continue engaging with your existing and potential customers. So what are these changes? These changes will impact Facebook groups. They're going to impact Instagram. They're going to impact Facebook business pages. And Facebook is testing a newsfeed overhaul for the Facebook platform. So not only are you going to see some changes to the way the Facebook platform looks aesthetically, no more blue line at the top for the mobile interface, and that'll actually be rolling out to desktop later in the summer, but Facebook is changing the content of the newsfeed as well, so I want you to be aware of that. Facebook's also, again, updating its algorithm as it always does, so we're going to talk about what that means for your small business as well. So my promise to you today in today's session is that we're not going to be talking about my theories. We're going to be talking about facts concerning upcoming updates. So, Facebook made a series of announcements in mid and late April and early in May, and we actually have reps at Facebook that we work with and we interact with on a weekly basis, and so we've been able to talk to them about what these announcements mean, how they impact small businesses, and what we can all do going forward to ensure that we as small business owners are able to continue to drive new customers to our businesses through Facebook and Instagram in spite of the changes that are going to be rolling out this summer. So I'm going to share with you what their recommendations are, what their insight is into what these changes are. So we're not, again, talking about theory, we're talking about facts here today. Now, we're also going to talk about what strategies you can implement to continue pulling potential customers from Facebook and Instagram, because after all, as a small business owner, the only reason you even are active on Facebook and Instagram for your business is so you can drive new customers to your business, right? And so that you can interact with and engage your existing customers to increase your sales. So we're going to talk about the strategies that you can, if you're not already, you can begin implementing in your business right now. Some things that you need to change with your strategy because of the upcoming changes that are going to be going into effect. And you're going to hear from several small business owners just like you that have implemented strategies in April that have allowed them to continue driving sales from both Facebook and Instagram in spite of the changes that are going to be rolling out. So I always get this question in the beginning of the webinar. Who is this webinar for? So this is for small business owners, or if you work for a small business. So I know you may not be the small business owner, but maybe you're in charge of marketing or social media for a small business. So that's totally fine. We're super excited to have you joining us as well, even if you're not the owner of the small business. So if the small business you own or work for sells products or services to consumers or businesses, this webinar is absolutely going to be beneficial for you. If you're in sales, so if you are with an MLM company like LuLaRoe, Unique, Rodan and Fields, something similar to that, this is absolutely going to be beneficial for your small business. If you're a realtor, a photographer, if you own any type of business, again, where you're selling to consumers or business owners, this is going to be a really great session for you. If you depend on Facebook and Instagram to drive customers to your business, this is going to be really important for those key changes you need to make with your strategy. So I'm super excited to have you joining us. The only type of business owner this would not be for, if you're here looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, you can probably spend this hour doing something else, because we're not talking about get-rich-quick schemes today. We're only talking about sustainable strategies that will grow your business. You've got to believe in the products or services that you offer, and you have to be really invested in building relationships with your existing and potential customers. So if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, I'm not about that. So this is probably not going to be a good session, a good use of your time. But if you're here and you want a sustainable long-term strategy for driving new customers to your small business, and you really care about your reputation and the relationships that you're building via social media, this is going to be really important for you. I know you don't want to hear a lot about me. You want to dive right into today's content. But for those of you that don't know me, my name is Samantha English, and I am the founder of the Marketing Academy for Small Business. I graduated with a master's degree in marketing and public relations. And as many entrepreneurs do, I started out in the corporate arena working as the director of marketing for the nation's third largest bank data processor. And from there, I moved over to a management firm where I was the VP of marketing, where we marketed a textbook rental company and the nation's fifth largest wholesale textbook company. So in 2011, I got tired of the grind of the corporate world, and I decided that I wanted to be in charge of how much money I made and how much time I got to spend with my kiddos and my husband. So I launched my own marketing firm in 2011. And after several years of offering done-for-you services for all sorts of businesses, I launched the Marketing Academy for Small Business in 2015, where now I teach business owners how to better market their businesses and how to save money doing it. So my mission is to help 1 million small business owners simplify their marketing strategies and create the success that you deserve. So really excited that you are part of those 1 million small business owners that I'm able to reach and talk to you about marketing and how to save money and how to better market your small business. To date, I've been able to train over 600,000 small business owners through webinars like this one, through our partnerships with local chambers of commerce, local Main Street organizations, and other entrepreneurial organizations. So I'm super excited to have you as one of my 1 million small business owners. So really excited to dive into today's content. So without further ado, let's talk about the 3 topics that we are going to be covering today. Number 1, we're going to be talking about the updates that Facebook announced in mid-April, late April, and the first couple of days of May. We're going to be talking about plans for upcoming changes for both the Facebook and Instagram platforms. And most importantly, I'm going to give you 5 action steps today. So go ahead and type into the chat if you love a blueprint, if you love to know exactly what you can do to drive new customers to implement changes for your business. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to workshops or I've attended webinars and I got really pumped up and really excited and I felt empowered about the information that I was given, but I had no idea how to implement what I had learned. So it's really important to me that today you walk away feeling empowered and informed, and that you know exactly what you can do to grow your small business going forward as a result of the changes that are going to be released on Facebook and Instagram this week, next week, and throughout the summer. So I'm going to give you, and Angela said, yes, I love a blueprint. And Erica said, yes, with a lot of S's. So really excited to share that blueprint with you today. So let's go ahead and dive into first the changes that Facebook, and if you don't already know, Facebook owns Instagram. So when I say Facebook has released these changes, that's because Facebook also owns Instagram. So Facebook announced that it's going to be rolling out changes to the Instagram platform, removing low quality posts from the explore and hashtag pages. So if a particular post that you create for Instagram is not receiving, likes, it's not receiving comments, that sort of thing, it's going to be deemed low quality and it's going to be removed from the explore and hashtag pages. So what that means is that you're going to see reduced discoverability for your Instagram account. Now this only impacts the number of people who are not following you. That's how a lot of Instagram business accounts grow their followers, through the explore and the hashtag pages, because you depend on that for people who don't follow you to actually find you. So if your posts aren't getting a lot of interaction, you are going to see reduced discoverability, a reduction in the number of new followers that are following your business account, and that sort of thing. So just something to kind of be aware of. If you typically see, 10 to 20 new followers a week and all of a sudden you're not seeing that type of growth, it's because if your posts aren't seeing a lot of interaction, you are not going to be included on the explore and the hashtag pages going forward into the summer of 2019. So Another major change, and this is a big one, another major change that Facebook announced on April 30th for the Instagram platform is that it's testing removing likes from your posts. So you as an administrator of your Instagram business account would be able to see the number of people who have liked or interacted with your video or your photo, but your followers will not be able to see that information. They won't be able to see the number of people who've liked your video or your photo. They won't be able to see comments and things like that. And this is what Instagram had to say about this change. We're testing this because we want your followers to focus on the photos and videos you share and not how many likes that they get. So you might see as a user log into Instagram going forward that you may not be able to see the number of likes on a photo or a video of one of the pages or business pages that you follow. So don't be alarmed if you see that. This is just a new change that Instagram is testing and will likely roll out late summer of 2019. Another change that Instagram is rolling out, it's reducing organic reach for stories and posts because it's prioritizing content based on what it thinks users want to see. So you as an administrator of your Instagram page may see an overall reduction in engagement on your posts and your stories because Instagram is starting to prioritize content based on what it thinks your followers want to see. So this is what Instagram had to say about this change. On average, people miss about 70% of the posts in their Instagram feed. What this change is about is making sure that the 30% that they do see is the best 30% possible. So again, just be prepared to see some changes on Instagram over the coming weeks and into late summer of 2019. You might see an overall reduction in the engagement on your videos and your photos. And as a user, you may log in and see that you can no longer see the number of likes a video or photo has if it has been created by a business account. So just something to kind of keep in mind going forward. Now let's talk about some changes for Facebook groups that were announced in late April. And like I said, the first couple days of May, Facebook made another series of announcements. So changes to Facebook groups. If a user leaves your group, he or she can now select to remove all prior posts. So you might see a reduction in the number of comments and posts in your group because if someone leaves your group, now they can say, okay, I want to exit. I don't want to be a part of this group anymore, and also remove anything that I ever posted, either a post or a comment. So you might notice that going forward. Now, one of the biggest changes that we're going to see for Facebook groups, and something really, really important if you have a Facebook group for your business, something that's really important for you to know about some changes and some rules that Facebook is implementing throughout the summer of 2019. If one of your members, or if you as an administrator or moderator of a group creates a post that does not comply with Facebook's community standards, Facebook's going to provide you as an admin or moderator with a notification, and it's going to say, hey, we flagged or we removed this content because it does not comply with our community standards. And after today's webinar, you can Google Facebook community standards to see a list of those guidelines. Don't do it right now because we might get disconnected, but you can do that after today's session. Just make a note on your action guide to be sure to do that. And if a post or a comment does not comply with Facebook's community standards, it's going to flag that post or that comment and give you as a moderator or administrator of the group a notification to let you know, hey, this did not comply with our community standards. Here's why. Just be aware of it and try to always remove content similar to this going forward. They're starting to notify you as an admin or moderator of the types of content that's being flagged because later into the summer of 2019, you as an administrator or moderator, do you like how I tried to kind of combine those two words? You're going to be charged with policing content. And if you consistently approve content that violates Facebook's guidelines and community standards, your group is at risk of being closed. So this is what Facebook had to say about this change. Starting in the coming weeks, when reviewing a group to decide whether or not to take it down, we'll look at the admin and moderator content violations in that group, including member posts they have approved, as a stronger signal that the group violates our standards. So if there is a consistent pattern of you approving or you creating posts or comments that do not comply with Facebook's community standards, there's a chance that your group could be removed from the platform, and that's a permanent action and it can't be retrieved. So you would lose all of those group members, you would lose all of the content from your group. So just be sure that you're only approving content that complies with Facebook's community standards, and also be sure that you just let your group members know that that's kind of what you're going to be doing going forward. And if you don't require approvals, be sure to remove any content that, again, doesn't comply with those community standards. So overall, for the remainder of 2019, what we can expect is a reduced organic reach to about 6.5% for the average group. So you take a look, and I know a lot of people have said, back in 2014 when Facebook made its last major change. So, Mark Zuckerberg said that on April 30th, he said, the changes that we're rolling out in the coming weeks are going to be the most massive changes we've seen to the platform since 2014. So 2014 was the last big change that Facebook enacted on the platform. And as a result of that change, a lot of people started, investigating and thinking about Facebook groups, and moved from focusing their attention on their Facebook business page to focusing their attention on a group. And what we're seeing now is that groups are kind of starting to follow suit with the Facebook business pages. And so you've probably even noticed in 2019 a reduction in engagement on your posts in your group. And that's going to continue throughout this year. What we are hearing from our contacts at Facebook is that organic reach for the average group is going to sit at around 6.5%. And that's because posts are not going to be displayed as readily in the newsfeed going forward, posts from your groups, and users aren't going to be receiving as many notifications when you as an administrator post something in the group. So if you take a look at the number of members of your group and you multiply that number by 6.5%, that's the average number of people who are going to be seeing your posts in your group. So just kind of be aware of the reduction in engagement and visibility of your posts for your group posts. So we've talked about some changes going into effect on Instagram. We've talked about changes going into effect for Facebook groups. Now let's talk about some changes that are going to be going into effect for Facebook business pages. So something I just want you to be aware of, Facebook is testing combining stories and posts into one feed. So Facebook did a similar test about 18 months ago, and in that test, what we saw was a reduction of about I believe it was 23% reduction in organic reach for business pages in a similar test. So again, this is not something that's for sure going to be going into effect. This is just something that Facebook is testing. If this does roll out as a business page, you can again just know that your organic reach is going to be further reduced from what it is today already. So again, this is not something that's a for sure. It's just something that Facebook's testing. If it does go into effect, obviously, we will let you know, but that's just something that Facebook is testing right now. Again, this is likely to result in further reduction in your organic reach as a business page. So Tara actually typed into the chat and said, can you tell me what organic reach is? I don't know what that is. So absolutely, Tara, I'm sorry. Organic reach is that free reach. So if you create a post on your business page, and you just, create a post, you type in some words, you add a picture, you add a video, whatever, and you post it, you're not boosting it, it's not an ad, it's an organic free post. So Facebook takes those posts and, hopefully it places those in the news, those posts in the news feed of your followers, people who have liked your business page. Again, you're not paying for that type of post, it's just a free organic post. What I mean in reduction in organic reach is that for those posts, Facebook is not putting them out into the newsfeed. So you're not getting as many eyeballs on your posts because Facebook's not putting them over onto the newsfeed. So really the only way people are seeing your organic posts today, the majority of people, is if they come to your page and actively seek you out. So you can't really depend on a lot of people seeing your posts roll out into their newsfeed. So I'm sorry if I wasn't clear about that earlier. Thank you for asking me to clarify. Sometimes I forget that everybody doesn't know these terms that I'm spitting out during my session. So thanks for the question, Tara. So in addition to this newsfeed testing, what Facebook rolled out in April and is continuing to roll out over the coming weeks is something called Click Gap Data. So what Click Gap Data does is it deprioritizes business pages with poor clicking metrics. So if your post is getting a lot of negative feedback, if people are hiding your post, your organic post, they're saying, I don't want to see this. So when you see a post in your newsfeed, you'll see 3 little dots in the top right corner, and you can hide it, or you can give negative feedback, or you can say, I don't want to see this post again. That's deemed as negative feedback. That's Facebook relying on users to provide information about the quality of the post that you're creating. If you get a lot of negative feedback on a post, Facebook's going to say, okay, this is low quality content. It's going to deprioritize you in the newsfeed, meaning that you're not going to get as much organic reach going forward. So just kind of be aware of that. Make sure you're producing good, high quality content that users want to engage with, they want to see, and that they're not going to be hiding, in their feeds and that sort of thing. The click gap signal also relies on third-party data to deprioritize posts with a disproportionate share of clicks from Facebook and Instagram compared to your website's overall online popularity. So Facebook's working with third parties to determine your overall number of visits to your website. And if a disproportionate share of visits to your website are coming from Facebook and Instagram, if you get 100 visitors to your website a day and 98 of them are coming from Facebook and Instagram, what that tells Facebook is that there's a disproportionate share of users coming to your website from Facebook and Instagram compared to other resources. And it's going to deprioritize those types of posts in those pages. This is what Facebook had to say about using ClickGap for determining whether or not a business page gets organic reach going forward. ClickGap looks for domains or websites with a disproportionate number of outbound Facebook clicks compared to their place in the web graph. This can be a signal that the domain is succeeding in the news feeds on Facebook and Instagram in a way that doesn't reflect their overall authority they've built outside and is producing low quality content. So this is problematic for most small businesses because most small businesses rely on traffic from Facebook and Instagram almost exclusively. So if you're not getting many visits to your website from Google, Bing, Yahoo, organic, from pay-per-click, from email, from backlinks from other websites, this can be problematic for you. This can signal to Facebook that you haven't built authority for your website outside of the platform, and you might see an overall decline in reach for your organic posts and your page views. So this is Facebook's first public admission of reduced organic reach. This is a quote from Mark Zuckerberg. As we roll this out, users will see less public content like organic posts from businesses, brands, and media. And the public content you do see will be held to the same high standard to encourage meaningful interactions. So going forward, Facebook is focusing on meaningful interactions on each and every organic post that you create for your business page. This is what Mark Zuckerberg had to say about that. Pages creating posts that people generally don't interact or comment on will see the biggest decreases in reach. So you've got to focus on creating posts that initiate or invoke meaningful interactions with your followers. So what that means is Facebook is going to prioritize reactions over likes. So if someone gives you the little heart, if they click the like button but they select the heart or one of the funny faces, that's a reaction. And the more reactions you get, that signals to Facebook that the post is meaningful because the user's taking a couple of extra seconds, to hold down on that like button and select a reaction versus just maybe potentially accidentally or meaningless, giving you a meaningless like. So reactions are more valued than likes. Facebook is also prioritizing posts that get comments and shares. So comments and shares signal to Facebook that your post is meaningful, that it's relevant to your followers, and those are going to be ranked higher, and you're going to get more organic reach for those types of posts. If one of your followers happens to see your post, it pops up in their newsfeed and they see your organic post and they share it, and then their friends like it or they share the content, that sort of thing, that's a great signal to Facebook that the posts that you're creating are highly relevant and meaningful to not only your followers, but the people who are their friends as well. So that signals to Facebook that type of post is extremely meaningful and you're going to see improved organic reach. When you reply to comments on your post, that signals to Facebook that you're invested in engaging with your followers. So always, if someone, and I'm sure you already do this, but if you don't, just keep this in mind. If someone comments on one of your posts, be sure to reply to that comment. That shows Facebook, again, that you're engaging and that you're really placing importance on the relationships you're building with your followers. Not something that you're really in control of, but if your post is shared via Messenger, that gives Facebook a signal that your post is extremely meaningful. So again, what you can do to ensure that you are creating these meaningful posts, avoid posts with calls to action like click here, shop now, call the store, give us a call, schedule a consultation, that sort of thing. Those types of posts, those calls to action are flagged by Facebook, and those types of posts are going to see a reduced organic reach. Don't create organic posts that push people to enter promotions, giveaways, or contests. Facebook doesn't like that type of organic content. You're going to see very little reach for those types of posts. And don't link to outbound content. So don't link to your website. Don't link to other sources outside of the Facebook platform. Those organic posts, again, are going to receive very little organic reach because Facebook likes to keep its users on the platform. So these are the top 3 things that you can avoid. Make sure that you're creating meaningful content that's relevant, that's newsworthy, that encourages people to interact with you. You know, if it's a really great new arrival for, I know we had a couple of people that had boutiques. So if you've got really great new arrivals, that would be something that you could post. Don't include any calls to action on your post where you're sharing your new arrivals or anything like that. Don't link out to your website where they can purchase. Just use that as kind of a service that you provide to make sure that your followers are the first to know when you get a new shipment. Make sure that you are taking advantage of video. Video is highly ranked organically for both Facebook and Instagram. So if you can create, a 45 to 60-second video, even using just your iPhone, that's perfectly fine. Those types of posts get more organic reach. So just know going forward that even if you do everything right, and even if you're getting meaningful interactions on your organic posts today, your organic reach is declining. In 2014, when Facebook enacted the last massive change, 20% of the people who had followed your business page were able to see your content. Since that change went into effect in 2014, organic reach has steadily declined, and now it sits at about 1.6 to 2%. So you take the number of people who have liked your business page, only about 1.6 to 2% of them are seeing your posts in their newsfeed. So in order to kind of safeguard your reach, you've got to take a different approach to making sure that your content is showing up in the newsfeed. But what I want you to be careful of is not to boost your posts. So go ahead and type into the chat if you boost posts, or if you ever have in the past. Remember, your replies are just coming to me, and I won't say your name. But if you've boosted posts in the past, let me know, and let me know about, on average, how much you spend boosting posts. Going forward, so feel free to type it into the chat. But the problem with boosted posts is they have very low conversion value because Facebook is just targeting users that are online at the time, not users who are most likely to engage or purchase. So it's just kind of shotgunning your message out to anybody with eyes and ears. So there's very low conversion value. So, okay, so somebody said not anymore. Sometimes I do. I spend a couple of bucks. I used to spend around $5 a day. No, I haven't boosted in over a year. So it looks like a lot of people, which is good, have kind of abandoned boosting posts because you don't get results from them, right? Sometimes you might get some engagement, but that doesn't result in, any action that can deliver profits or revenue or transactions or any type of engagement that can lead to a sale for your business. So going forward, don't be tempted to boost your post because it provides very low conversion value. So here's what we know about organic reach today. As a result, not only of these updates that are rolling out over the summer of 2019, but because of changes that have rolled out since 2014. This is a quote from Adweek. Maybe it's dramatic to call it the death of organic social, but increasingly we're telling our clients organic engagement is a real tough thing to produce sustainably. So these updates mean that you as a business owner, if you want people to see, if you want users to see your organic content, you're going to have to rely on them finding you. There's not a lot you can do to get your organic posts in front of your ideal customers in the newsfeed anymore because of these changes and changes that have gone into effect over the last 5 years. You can no longer rely on organic free reach to attract new customers or engage existing customers. But the good news is I don't want you to throw up your hands and be like, well, crap, what am I going to do now? I know my ideal customers are on Facebook and Instagram. And by the way, your ideal customers not only are on Facebook and Instagram, well, let's just do a little test here. Go ahead and type into that question box the number of times you think, type in one number, tell me the number of times you think you refresh your Facebook feed, and type in a separate number, the number of times you refresh your Instagram feed. I feel like I am refreshing my Facebook feed, probably hourly. What the research tells us is that the average Facebook user refreshes their feed 11 to 15 times a day. So your ideal customers are on the Facebook and Instagram platforms, right? So Heather said, 12 times a day for Facebook and 20 plus times a day for Instagram. Scott said, I feel like it's 100 between the two. Roz said, depending on the day, but probably 20 or more. So all of us are admitting that we refresh our feeds on both Facebook and Instagram numerous times throughout the day. And what the data tells us is that the average user is refreshing their feed 11 to 15 times per day. Unfortunately, when you create those organic posts on your business page, they're not getting over to the newsfeed. So you've got to have a process in place. If you're joining us from mobile, don't do this. But if you're on your desktop, pull out your phone and open up either Facebook or Instagram, doesn't matter. Refresh your feed real quick for me. And what you'll probably notice is that first thing, you'll see stories at the top, but the next thing that you see is a post probably from a friend or family member. And the second thing that you see in your feed is going to be a sponsored post, right? So you've got to make sure, if you want to drive new customers from your business, if you want to capitalize on those, your customers are actively on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to make sure that your message is getting in front of them, you've got to show up in that second spot in the newsfeed. And we're going to talk about how to do that in just a second. But it's super important to keep in mind that since we can no longer depend on organic posts to attract new customers and get your message in front of people, you have to have a funnel in place to drive new customers to your business. Whether you sell to consumers or you sell to businesses, you've got to have a marketing funnel in place driving those customers to your business. So what's working today for small business owners? You've got to have a Facebook and Instagram business profile for credibility purposes, because 60% of consumers tell us that they visit your Facebook page first before visiting your brick and mortar location or your website. 80% of consumers are more inclined to purchase from your small business if they find a credible, authentic Facebook page associated with your business. So how many times have you been doing research on a business and trying to decide if you want to go shop there, if you want to go try a restaurant, or if you want to go, maybe talk to a business coach or something like that? And the first thing that you do more than likely is you go take a look at their Facebook profile, right? And you refresh it and you see, okay, well, if they haven't posted since October of last year, are they even open anymore? And that's not very credible. So that's what consumers and business owners are doing when they're trying to determine if they want to do business with your small business. They're checking you out on Facebook, making sure you have an up-to-date profile, making sure that you're posting routinely, just to make sure that you're still open and that you are an authentic business. 62% of consumers say that Facebook is the most important and useful social media channel to research small businesses. So if you don't have a credible, authentic Facebook and Instagram account associated with your business, you're going to be losing out on 80% of consumers who would do business with you but decided not to because you didn't have a credible, authentic page associated with your business. So you've got to have an Instagram, you've got to have a Facebook business page, but you just can't depend on those free organic posts going forward to drive customers to your business. You've got to have a funnel, and don't get scared and think, oh my gosh, a funnel, it sounds like it's a lot of steps, it sounds like it's a lot of work. It's not. You as a small business owner, it doesn't matter if you are a techie 27-year-old or if you are a small business owner who's 67 years old and, is just kind of using Facebook right now, just very little. you can easily build a marketing funnel for your business. You don't have to be super tech savvy to do it. We're going to talk about what the steps in building a funnel are in just a couple of minutes. So what you've got to do is build this marketing funnel that drives virtual strangers from Facebook and Instagram to your business before they get distracted. And you've got to focus your efforts on only getting your message in front of people with the means, the money, and the motivation they're interested in the products or services that you offer. So you can, with Facebook and Instagram, make sure that you're laser targeting and only getting your message in front of people who have the means and motivation to purchase from you. So what is a marketing funnel? A marketing funnel, just very simply, is a set of steps that you can implement for your business to drive virtual strangers who are hearing about you for the very first time on Facebook and Instagram to your business, and driving them from being virtual strangers, pulling them off of the Facebook and Instagram platform, pulling them onto your website, pulling them into your brick and mortar store, or pulling them onto your phone lines to schedule an appointment or consultation. So pulling all of these virtual strangers to your business and making them paying customers. And the way that you do that is through a really simple 5-step process. And again, you don't have to be super tech savvy to do it. Literally anyone can do this. I can't even map my computer to my printer. My husband has to do that for me. So if I can set up a marketing funnel like this as a small business owner, I know that you can do that as well. So here are the 5 steps, and we're going to go into how to set these up in just a second. So step 1 is to figure out who your ideal customer is, and then go to where they are. And we know that your ideal customer, no matter what type of industry or business you're in, we know your ideal customer is either on Facebook or Instagram, and probably both. So what you've got to do after you figure out exactly who you want to target and you know where to go. So we've already done that second part. We know where to go, Facebook and Instagram. We've got to grab their attention. The newsfeed is super noisy. There's a lot of competition. So you've got to jump out in the newsfeed, grab their attention. Step 3 is you build a relationship. So that's the most important step for any small business owner, building the relationship so that you don't get lost in the shuffle. Step 4 is the follow-up, the nurturing the relationship. Again, remember, this is a cold audience. It's hearing about you for the very first time on Facebook and Instagram. You've got to build the know, like, and trust factor so that they're excited to purchase the products or services that you offer. And step 5 is to close the sale. You've got great products or services that you believe in. So step 5 is really simple. It's the first 4 steps that take just a little bit of time to implement. So let's talk about this identify and find step. It's important because you only want to get your message in front of people with the means and motivation to buy from you. How many of you that maybe own a local business or have been in business for a long time have tried things like radio ads and newspaper ads, and they're incredibly expensive, and you're just kind of throwing stuff out there, pelting your message out there with anyone with eyes or ears? That's not the most profitable way to get your message out. With Facebook and Instagram, you can make sure that you're only getting your message, you're only spending a fraction of a penny getting your message out in front of people with the means and motivation to buy from you. So how do you do that? You take advantage of the laser targeting opportunities that are only available on Facebook and Instagram. So you can target people based on their interests, based on their behaviors, like how do they spend their money, how do they spend their time, what applications have they filled out online, like are they looking for a new car, have they filled out a mortgage application if you're a realtor. You can look at demographic data. Did they recently move to your town? Did they recently get engaged? Did they recently have a baby? You can look at their connections. You can, again, back to interest. Are they interested in things that are, focused on health? Like if you're a personal trainer, you're looking for people that are interested in the healthy and fit lifestyle. If you own a boutique, you want to target people who've demonstrated behaviors that show that maybe they buy upscale items at upscale boutiques. So Facebook works with third parties to gather data on users' behaviors, spending habits, demographics, and interests so that you can get your message out in front of people who've demonstrated, behaviors that tell us that they have the money to purchase from your small business and they're interested in the products or services that you offer. You can also create what's called a custom, and Heather, I saw your question come through. I'm going to get to it in just a second. You can also upload your list of customers or subscribers to build what's called a custom audience. And what Facebook does is it matches up each of your customers or each of your email subscribers with their associated Facebook profile. Then it takes a look and it finds consistencies among your customers or your subscribers, how they spend their money, what pages they like, what they do on and off of Facebook, and kind of creates an overall profile for your customer base. You can leverage that data to build what's called a lookalike audience. So Facebook can go out and find other users that have similar spending habits, patterns of behavior, etc. So that's really one of the most important audiences that you can leverage on both Facebook and Instagram. So the benefit of this type of targeting is that you get a great return on your investment. So again, you're spending a fraction of a penny to get your message out in front of people who have demonstrated that they have the means and motivation to buy from businesses like yours. And because you're able to spend so little doing this, you're not spending hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. You're spending, again, fractions of a cent to get your message in front of the right people who are actually likely to buy from your business. You can accelerate your growth for your small business. And this gives you one place to find your new customers. So you're not having to meet with, ad reps. You're not, putting your message here and there and everywhere. You have one place and one focus, one way to get new customers for your business, because they're already spending their time on Facebook and Instagram, refreshing their news feeds 11 to 15 times a day. So we know they're on Facebook and Instagram. You just got to get your message in front of them. So this is David Bronstetter. He owns a business called Ultimate Automotive, which is obviously an automotive, local automotive shop. And this is what he posted in our Facebook group. We just ran a 3-day ad that booked us over 22 jobs for this week alone. So what Facebook and Instagram allow you to do is this is for an automotive shop. So he does, sound systems, speaker systems, lift kits, and things like that for cars and trucks and personal vehicles and things like that. So if David can get his message in front of people who are spending money on kind of, unnecessary types of things for their vehicles, imagine what you could do for your business if you have someone that has a real need or a real want and you sell a moderately priced product. So this works not only for, average cost products, it can work for high-end products as well, because you're able to get your message in front of people with the means and motivation to buy from you, whether you sell locally or you can target anyone in any given country. Facebook's laser targeting options are super powerful for small business owners like you and me. So step 2 in this process is to grab attention, but we know that the newsfeed is super cluttered and Facebook and Instagram users are easily distracted. And I'm guilty of this. Go ahead and say yes in the chat if you're guilty of this as well. So the other day I was scrolling through the newsfeed and we were getting ready to go on vacation, and I saw a really cool swimsuit wrap. And so I'm scrolling through my newsfeed. I see this wrap and I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. But I could see just below that one of my friends just had a baby, and she had posted new pictures of the baby. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see these new pictures. So I continued to scroll. I, commented and I reacted on all of her baby pictures and things like that, and forgot about the swimsuit wrap completely. So now I can't even remember the name of the company. I can vaguely remember what it looks like, but that company is long gone from my memory now. I can't go back. I can't find them, and I can't complete the purchase because I got distracted in the newsfeed. We don't want that to happen for your small business. We want you to capture attention, encourage immediate attention and interaction, so that you can drive that customer off of Facebook and Instagram and onto your website, off of Facebook and Instagram and into your brick and mortar location, off of Facebook and Instagram and onto your phone lines. So what you've got to do is to encourage immediate attention, make yourself relevant, and build that know, like, and trust factor. And one of the most important ways that you can do that is by acknowledging your ideal customer's pain points. So this is one of our clients. Her name's Helen. She owns a business called Baby Goes Retro. She created this ad and said, I don't know if you can see it, but that first line says, no more lost socks and no more bare legs. Let your little one enjoy all the thrills of being a child unrestricted. So she's speaking very clearly to the pain points of every parent. I don't know if you're a parent, but I am. And I can't tell you how many lost socks we must have in our house, how many times I'm rushing around when we're trying to get to church or trying to get out the door to soccer practice and we can't find socks. So she's speaking to me as a parent, no more lost socks and no more bare legs, and speaking to me as a parent. I want my kids to enjoy life unrestricted, not having, pants on all the time and things like that. So she was selling her children's leggings, speaking to the pain points of parents and, what we as parents want for our child. or children. And over a 7-day period, she was able to generate over $2,000 in sales for children's leggings, by the way, and added 150 new potential customers to her email list because she acknowledged pain points, stood out in the news feed, and encouraged immediate attention and interaction. So 39% of Facebook and Instagram users interact with a business in order to receive a special offer. So Helen offered a $10 off coupon for her children's leggings. So you can do that if you own a product-based business. You know, if you're a retailer or something like that, online or in store, you can offer a discount. If you are a service-based business, you can do a PDF cheat sheet. A lot of realtors do that. A lot of photographers do PDF cheat sheets, you know, top 5 ways to stage your home to sell it quickly, or top 10 tips for ensuring a flawless newborn photo session. You can do a how-to video. In an ad, you can do a giveaway or a contest. You just don't want to do that in an organic post. So offer something of value to encourage that immediate engagement and interaction. Get them to click on it to take advantage. You've spoken to their pain points so the user knows, okay, this is a business owner that actually gets me. They know what I'm up against in my day-to-day life. They know, you know, they're speaking my language, so we're kind of already connected a little bit. So I'm already interested, and then you get them to you know, immediately act on what they're seeing by offering something of value absolutely free, like the how-to video, the PDF cheat sheet, or a discount code. So after you have grabbed attention in the newsfeed, now the next step is to start a relationship with this virtual stranger who's hearing about your business for the very first time on Facebook and Instagram. The primary issue for us as business owners is, again, the potential customer easily forgets about you if they don't, you know, if they don't already have an existing relationship with you. So what we've got to do is stay top of mind and initiate the relationship by capturing some information. So what you can do is you can create this Facebook ad or Instagram ad that jumps out in the newsfeed, gets the user to, you know that you understand their pain points, you get where they're coming from, you're offering them something of value absolutely free. All they have to do is give you their first name and email address. So they'll click on your ad, they'll come to what's called an email collector landing page, where they give you their first name and their email address. And when they submit that information to you, then you deliver that freebie offer, whether it's the discount code or the how-to video or the PDF cheat sheet, whatever it is, you can deliver that to them. So via email. And this allows you to stay top of mind because you have their contact information. You can contact them when you want to. This is another important thing that I want you to understand. You don't own your Facebook followers. You don't obviously own your Facebook group. You don't own your Instagram business profile, You don't own any of that. The only thing that you as a small business owner own, and your most important asset, is your email list. Your email list allows you to communicate with people who've expressed an interest in your business when you want to. So I know, and go ahead and type into the chat if you feel this way. It's so frustrating. With Facebook and Instagram, people have liked or followed your page, but now you can't get your message in front of them because of the algorithm updates that have gone into effect over the last 5 years and the ones that are going to be coming out further this summer. So I know that that's frustrating to you as a small business owner, but what you can do and what you are in control of is your email list. And with a good email list, you can communicate with these people that have expressed an interest in your business for anytime that you want to show them your promotions or your upcoming events and things like that. And that's what's going to safeguard the growth of your business and build momentum for your business. Capturing that information and maintaining that channel of communication where you're not depending on a third party like Facebook or Instagram to get your message out. So it's super important. My best 2 tips for creating these email collector landing pages is don't ask for too much information. You just need the first name and email address, and take advantage of Facebook and Instagram's conversion tracking, which is going to allow Facebook and Instagram to optimize your messaging to get in front of people who are known to convert. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Again, your email list is the most important asset for any small business. Don't be fooled and think, oh my gosh, I don't have time to build an email list. That's really not important to me. Your email list, your business is only as strong as your email list. You have got to have an email list to safeguard your growth as a small business owner, whether you sell exclusively online, whether you have a brick and mortar location, or you depend on, people calling your phone lines to book appointments and consultations. Your email list is crucial to the growth and to safeguarding the sales for your small business. So if you're not actively building an email list, start today. because that's the only way to ensure your future growth. Maybe it doesn't seem like you're behind right now if you don't have an email list, but trust me, going forward, an email list is going to be crucial for the growth of your small business. Step 4 in this process is to nurture. So you have driven a virtual stranger off of Facebook and Instagram. They've expressed an interest in what you have to offer. Now you've got to nurture them. So you've got to build that know, like, and trust factor and make sure that you stay top of mind. Nurturing is important because 85% of in-store shoppers don't purchase on their first visit. So how many times, if you've got a brick and mortar location, do you have people that come in and you say, hey, can I help you? And they say, no, I'm just kind of looking around. They're coming in for that first time just to get comfortable. They're not quite comfortable enough to pull out their wallet and to spend a lot of time in your business. They're just kind of looking around on that first visit. 98% of online shoppers don't purchase on their first visit. So you've got to create a nurturing campaign so that these virtual strangers are excited to purchase from you from the very first time they walk through your door, the very first time they come to your website, or the very first time they give you a call. We want to make sure that every fraction of a penny you're spending on your Facebook and Instagram ads results in a customer actually spending money in your small business. You do that through targeting, you do that through nurturing. Those are the two keys to ensuring that these people that are hearing about you for the first time on Facebook or Instagram are actually coming in and spending money with your small business on their first visit. So the nurturing sequences allow you to build meaningful relationships and close the sale at higher rates because you're staying top of mind and you're building that know, like, and trust factor. And because you are giving yourself a very professional image, you're delivering something of value absolutely free, you're building that know, like, and trust factor, these people that are hearing about you for the very first time on Facebook and Instagram are going to share information about your business with their friends and family members, which is going to build momentum for your business. So this is Helen Alexander. She posted this in our Facebook group. She said she actually placed an ad over Black Friday weekend last year, 2018. And this is what she had to say. My sales are up 80% on last year. I reached hundreds of new customers all over the world. I think we'll still be shipping orders next Friday. Thank you, Sam. So if she can create this nurturing sequence and she can create this marketing funnel and increase her sales 80% in the most expensive, the hardest, the most cluttered sales weekend of the year, imagine what you can do for your business over these summer months when Facebook and Instagram aren't as cluttered, when competition isn't as high, and when you're not competing for customers' attention as much as Helen was on Black Friday weekend. Now is really the ideal time to get this marketing funnel up and running because there's less competition. It's going to be easier for you to acquire the attention of those Facebook and Instagram users with the means and motivation to buy from you. Step 5 in this process is to close the sale. The issue that most small business owners face is when you attract a cold audience of virtual strangers that are hearing about you for the very first time, they're not ready to purchase immediately. But users who receive a follow-up message are more likely to purchase from your business on their very first visit. And that's what we want to do, because I know as a small business owner, cash flow is super important to you. You can't wait. I know you've probably heard about search engine optimization, or you've heard about content marketing, and all of those things take months and weeks to build up and to actually result in new customers coming to your business. With this process, this marketing funnel that is powered by Facebook and Instagram ads, you are literally pulling virtual strangers off of the platform and into your business within a matter of a couple of days, and sometimes immediately. Sometimes they're hearing about you and they're actually going ahead and committing to a purchase immediately after that very first 5 minutes of learning about your business. So what this process looks like at a glance: the Facebook or Instagram user is going to see your ad in their newsfeed. They're going to click on it to come to your email collector landing page. They're going to give you their first name and email address. They're going to submit that to you so that you can initiate the nurturing sequence where you deliver your freebie offer, your discount code, or your video, or your PDF cheat sheet. And then you nurture them into being excited to do business with your small business. So right now, I just want to real quick, I'm going to pull up a screen for you real quick, and go ahead and write this down on your action guide if you don't mind, or just write it down on a piece of paper. Write down the number 227, and we're going to come back to that in just a second. So write down the number right here where I'm highlighting that 227. Somebody write down 227. All right. We're going to come back to that in just a second. But right now, let's take a look at how this strategy works and how it can result in growth for your small business. And by the way, I've been teaching small business owners how to implement this exact same 5-step strategy since 2015, after Facebook enacted one of the most massive changes that we've seen. Mark Zuckerberg said, hey, we're releasing another huge update to the platform. It's the biggest one we've seen since 2014. So I've been using Facebook and Instagram in my business since 2011. I've been teaching small business owners how to use this method in their businesses since 2015. And here's the thing, it continues to work because you're not depending on organic reach to drive potential customers to your business. So no matter what changes go into effect for groups, no matter what algorithm changes go into effect, no matter what rule changes Facebook and Instagram enact, this process works because you're not relying on organic reach to get your message and your business in front of potential customers. So no matter what changes come our way in the future, this process is and will continue to work. And I'm going to share with you some stats from some business owners that have been implementing this strategy and will continue to, because it works. It drives new customers to your business day in and day out. So this is a screenshot of a reporting for a consignment store that we worked with in Canada. And again, this was actually over November. So this is over the holiday season when it's more expensive and a little tougher to advertise on Facebook and Instagram. So what she did is she was comfortable spending $5 a day. You can spend $1 a day on your Facebook ads and drive hundreds of new customers to your business, but she was comfortable because this was peak season for her business. You can see she spent $5 a day and she was able to get 69 people in her small town in Canada added to her email list. So what did this mean over the month of November? She spent $5 a day and she was able to achieve 300 sales in a 30-day period. So 10 sales a day, 300 sales over a 30-day period. So she spent $150, $5 a day, and generated over $15,000 in revenue. Her average transaction value was $50. So $50 times 300 sales, $15,000 from a $150 ad spend. So if Helen can do that if Bonnie can do that for her consignment store, $15,000 from a $150 ad spend, imagine what you could do for your small business. Now, what Bonnie and what David and what all the other small business owners we've talked about today have done to grow their small business is that they have implemented this 5-step strategy for their business day in and day out to grow their business. And you can do this exact thing too. This is not something that requires a lot of tech savvy or a lot of, you don't have to be completely comfortable with the Facebook and Instagram platforms. You can easily implement this process in your business. You've got to identify your ideal customer and go where they spend most of their time, which is on Facebook and Instagram. You've got to stand out in the newsfeed. You've got to build the relationship, and you've got to follow up. So what can you do to make it a reality? So when I was working in the corporate arena, I was making $60,000 to $70,000 a year. So then I launched my Done For You services, my marketing firm, and I started, making on an average year, my revenue was around $45,000 to $50,000. When I started implementing the strategies that we're talking about today, let's just take a look at my stats. So let's pull this back over here. So you can see now that in 2018, if you can see that 2018 revenue was $1,740,333. So $1,740,333. You guys, I am a girl, and you can see the last 7 days revenue, $37,422. I am from a small town in Western Kentucky. I'm 33 years old. If I can implement this, I'm a one-woman show. I don't have partners. I don't have family with money. I started and I built this business from literally a $100 ad spend that I spread out over a 30-day period. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to take $100. You can take $1 today, $1 tomorrow, $1 when you have a chance. and start to strategically grow and scale your business. So when I started making really great money, for my business, it was most important for me to pay off debt. So we paid off student loan debt, we paid off credit card debt, we paid off our cars and things like that. Really important for me to be debt free. Then we started building up our savings and retirement. And then, I started my business. I don't know why I'm getting choked up. Sorry. I started this business so I could spend more time with my kids. And when I started implementing a strategy where I had more financial freedom, I'm able to spend more time with my kiddos. I'm able to take my kids and my husband on vacations to the beach. And that was one of the things that we did when my business started growing. We took them on a vacation. We hadn't been able to do that in the past. So we were able to take them on a vacation to the beach. And it really transformed my family's life and my business when I started implementing a marketing funnel that drove new customers to my business day in and day out. So I practice what I preach. I'm implementing in my business exactly what I share in the Marketing Unleashed program that I'm going to share with you in just a second. So what I want you to do real quick is write down what your 30-day goal is and what I want you to know, your 30-day revenue goal. Just go ahead and write it down, or if you want to type it into the chat, go ahead and do that. And what I want you to know is that what we talked about today and the $1.7 million I made last year and the 22 new customers that David attracted to his business and the $2,000 in 1 week that Helen attracted for her business, the 80% increase in sales the other Helen attracted to her business over Black Friday weekend, that's not just what's possible for your business, but it's what's inevitable when you apply proven strategies that withstand the test of time. You don't want to, apply strategies that you're going to have to change next week or next month. You want to implement tried and true strategies that will actually grow your business day in and day out, year after year. And you can be in control of how much your business grows. This is Chris DeCaro. He's one of our members. He owns the Choice Beard Company, beard like beard on your face. And what he said is, I don't typically share reviews, but the fact is I brought my company's conversion rates from 2 to 3% to 8 to 12% after applying the strategies I learned from this course. It feels good to be in control of my Facebook marketing again. So you've just got to know exactly how to pull those virtual strangers from Facebook and Instagram onto your website, into your store, onto your phone lines. And so if you have, watch this webinar and you think, okay, I got it. I know how to do that. I can take these 5 steps and I can implement them in my business. That's great. And I wish you much success with your business. If you're somebody that thinks, oh gosh, yeah, I see how that works. I see how Samantha's using it in her business. I see that other people have been successful, but I don't know, I don't know what processes to use. I don't know how to make all these things work together. I don't know how to place a successful Facebook ad. We have a program called Marketing Unleashed for Facebook and Instagram. And in this program, I show you exactly what I do to drive customers from Facebook and Instagram to my small business day in and day out. I show you the exact strategies I've taught other small business owners day in and day out to drive new customers to their business. And the beautiful thing is that when you have this marketing funnel implemented in your business, you're driving new customers to your business while you eat, while you sleep, while you vacation, while you work, while you serve customers, while you work with your employees, whatever it is. You're constantly day after day driving new customers to your business day in and day out. So this is what Lisa Hanson, she owns the Interchange Coffee and Wine Bistro. She's one of our members. She said, I thoroughly enjoyed the Marketing Unleashed training program. What would have taken me hundreds of hours to learn, Sam has taught me what I needed to know to be able to use social media effectively in only a few short hours. Not one of us in business can afford to ignore what she brings to the table. The training is so worth the fee. I would definitely do it again. So you can, in 5 hours, set up this marketing funnel that drives new business that drives new customers to your website, to your brick and mortar, or to your phone lines day in and day out.